What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 8th episode of the Coughy Show. My name is Mike. Got Eric with me.
Happy fall.
Happy fall.
It's finally fall, or so they say.
Well, especially with the way the weather is today.
I know 90 and then down to 50 in 2 days.
Right. So, we want to remind everybody we got Burner coming here on the 24th of October. We do have an event page up on Facebook if you want to go ahead and let us know that you're coming. We will have some cake and cupcakes and all that good stuff for it.
Alcohol, that's what we really need.
We probably will have alcohol, but we can't sell you alcohol.
Just bring your ID, we can share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, make sure you come with your ID, as you always should.
Fair.
So our first article is out of Oregon, and they've got some parents and some bus drivers upset because of the smell of hemp. So to me, this is kind of dumb because it's like you need to work on your education of your kids, or there's one complaint in here because a bus driver I guess is allergic to it, so it gives her headaches. I think that's like an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I suppose it's possible.
I mean, off the smell, like I've heard when people are allergic to like weed and hemp and they actually consume it or smoke it.
Right, but not the smell.
The smell? Like, I don't like the way a skunk smells when I drive down the road, but I'm not allergic to it. It still gives me a headache.
Personally, I like that skunk smell.
Two different skunk smells.
Yeah.
Dead skunks, not as much.
Right.
I don't like the smell of cigarettes. Can I say that I'm allergic to it? None of you can smoke around me.
Right. But so yeah, what I was gonna say is they need to educate their kids and like let them know that this is something that's probably here to stay for a while. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. I guess up there they have restrictions on where an actual marijuana farm can be, and they have to be behind fences and all this stuff. But when it comes to hemp, they can kind of put them pretty much wherever right now, and they don't have to be behind fences or anything. So I guess I could see the issue with kids going over and trying to smoke it and stuff, but again, it comes back to educating your kids and letting them know that, yeah, it looks like weed, but it's not going to get you high.
Yeah, and like I understand, yeah, maybe you don't want it right next to a school, but like you're a school bus driver, you live in a farming community, so you have to drive. So no matter where they put it, you're still going to complain because you're still going to go pick these kids up on their farm, whether it's a mile from school or 10 miles from school. That's part of the job of being a school bus driver.
Right. I mean, like here, we have to deal with the smell. Like if you go to South Omaha, you got to deal with the smell of the stockyards, and nobody likes that, but you, I guess, kind of become accustomed to it and just learn to ignore it.
Yeah, people like joke that Council Bluffs smells like shit. No, South Omaha smells like literal shit. Like it smells like actual cow shit or cow blood when they burn it off twice a month, which is 10 times worse. Like, get over it.
Right.
You live in a city. There's smells everywhere. LA smells like piss. You still like to vacation in Los Angeles, though, and it smells like pee.
And ironically, our next story is out of Los Angeles.
See, good transition.
This is, right. Eric's learning. So this is from Good Morning America, and this is the first organic cannabis cafe in the country. Probably not the world. I'm sure there's something like this in Amsterdam or something. But
yeah, I saw 2 Chainz do one in Amsterdam. Look lit.
Yeah, there you go.
Need a passport for it though.
So when customers walk in, they're greeted by a flower host who acts as a guide to help them find the right cannabis or vapes.
I like that with this one, they do like a corkage fee, a tokage fee. Like, yeah, it's only $20, but I mean, if you could take your own shit in there, save money, and still like enjoy like the meals and not have to buy what they have specifically. Like if you really know you like Chelsea Handler's weed, smoke her weed there, and then you can eat their food.
It had to be Chelsea Handler.
We could do Jeffree Star too, but that's a pretty touchy subject in the world now.
Too funny. Yeah, I honestly, I seen the tokage fee. I've never heard of a corkage fee, but I'm not a big wine drinker, and I guess if I was going to drink a glass of wine somewhere, I'm not that hip on wine, so I don't have my own like preferred brand or whatever.
I went on a cruise earlier this year, and they charged $150. You could bring 2 bottles of wine, but it was $150 as a corkage fee because they had to open it to charge you.
Jeez.
I'm like, damn, you can bring your own alcohol, but you have to pay $150. Like, you might as well just spend $150 on a bottle on the boat.
For real, I think that's their goal. So moving on, this is a story out of Rhode Island. So they've got their first hemp harvest coming in this year. That's the first time in 50 years. And again, they're also getting complaints from neighbors about the smells. And this is just something that people are going to have to get used to. You know, at one point in time in our country, this was a normal smell.
Yeah, for real, before Prohibition.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, he went all in with it too. I mean, he did 70,000 plants on his first run, 65 acres. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot of plant just to go on a whim and say, oh, let's try it.
He dove in heavy, but this is a farm that's been farming for years and years and years with all kinds of different agricultural products, and you know, hemp is the new big thing, and now's the time for these guys to jump in, because as more and more people dive in, just like anything else, supply and demand, as there's more supply, that price is going to go down.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy has around a little over 500 acres, they're saying, so 65 really isn't a lot for him, but that's just a huge jump to buy 70,000 seeds, start them, and then plant and harvest all just on a whim of, let's see how it goes.
Right, and then, I mean, like it says in here, they're learning as they go, so he invested in a hemp harvesting machine that cuts the stalks off the ground, and then it lifts the bushes onto a conveyor belt and drops them into a bin, so it kind of cuts a lot of the handwork out. But then they noticed that works fine with the shorter bushes, but with the top heavier tall guys, it was just like jamming up their machine, so they ended up having to resort to field workers going out there and cutting them manually the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, do it by hand, which is good. Provides more work to your economy.
For sure. Yeah, we can't automate everything yet. Again, this is a fairly new industry, at least at this scale, so these machines are just going to have to go through these processes of getting put in the field and seeing where they're failing and getting improved year by year.
Yeah, start making new machines every year. It'll be like the Apple of the hemp world.
The Apple of the hemp world. So moving on, this is a study. Well, this article is from Forbes. This study is on nanoliposome technology. So this has been. They're saying that these people invented it, but I'm pretty positive that they didn't invent it. They just must have a better way of doing it, because we've seen nano-encapsulated products for a long time. So basically, a nanoliposome is a bubbly-shaped vehicle of lipids or fatty acids infused with pure hemp-derived CBD particles. So they're going to give you better absorption. They're saying it can be up to 80% better than traditional consumption. So it's still going to be an oil just like you're used to taking. You're not going to notice much of a difference just looking at the product, but the way that your body absorbs it is going to be different.
Yeah, which is nice, because I mean, with CBD now, and anything else, anything that you take as far as a supplement, you're always going to lose some in the body. Your body's going to absorb a part and then just naturally process the rest, and you'll lose that. So if you can increase those and take more in, that's going to help as far as taking a smaller dose or a smaller amount of your product and extending the life of how long you have it, because you're not going to need to use as much to get the same effects as you would with maybe another brand.
Yep. Buy less, use less.
It's a cheaper option.
Yeah, if we could do that with everything in life. Moving on, this is an article from CBS out of Denver. So they decided to test some different CBD products on the market. So they collaborated with Mile High Labs out of Boulder, and they were testing for different heavy metals: mercury, arsenic, cadmium, and lead. So I personally like seeing all this third-party testing, because you know, as a shop, we can't necessarily afford to test every product that we try to bring in here. We just kind of have to vet these different brands and make sure that, you know, their results are accurate, so that we feel comfortable selling it to you guys and not poisoning you guys.
Yeah, and we mean by like not lab testing. We try it all. We actually physically test it. We're the lab rats for it, but we don't send any of it away to see where it is.
Exactly.
Because we always try it first beforehand.
We definitely do test all these products before they come. We constantly get people sending us CBD samples, and a lot of those people get shut down.
Yeah, we've eaten pounds and pounds of gummies through the last year to see who's good and who's trash.
Yeah, 90% of them get tossed in the trash.
There's a few. Smokies, that was a good one.
Smokies was a good one.
By far one of my favorite. I mean, hemp cigarettes, that's kind of how we got our start with them too, was trying them out. And
Yep, seeing what works.
Yeah, and that's a good option.
So in their tests here, they're saying that none of them have had pesticides or heavy metals above federal standards. So that means there's a tolerant for how much you can consume of these products before it becomes poisonous to you. The THC levels were all within the federal guidelines, so that's another major point you want to see. So we don't have people accidentally testing dirty on drug tests, Eric.
Yeah, been there, done that.
So they said 4 samples were pretty much right on. 2 samples cheated you, only giving you 60 to 80% of what was advertised on the dosage. Then there was overperformers, so they had 1,000 milligram sample that tested at 1,100 milligrams, so that's 10% higher. And then they had one that was over 210% higher than what the label said, which is baffling to me. Why this company, I don't know if, maybe they sent their product off and got it tested by a bad lab, and they don't know that it is 210% higher because they're giving away a lot of product there.
Yeah, I mean, I would fire my quality control people in a heartbeat. Like, you would not be I wish they would say the names when they do these articles, which I get. You don't want to hurt somebody's business. It's education. It's not trying to, defame somebody or put them under. But, I mean, 210%, I bet you if they named them, this company wouldn't be around in 5 years. I could put money down that they wouldn't, because that's a lot to just, give away. That'd be like, giving something below cost and then also saying, here, take some more of our money. Buy this, we're going to give it to you at a great deal, and we're also going to write you a check at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense as far as a business model would go.
So moving on, our last article here is from CNN. This is about the FDA banning e-cigarettes, or I guess the country banning e-cigarettes. So the FDA is expected to finalize their policy on flavored e-cigarettes and vaping products in the coming weeks. I'm trying to remember, I seen a commercial last night for a device that's similar to Juul, that had flavored pods and everything on TV.
Probably Blue. I've seen the Blue one on TV.
I'm not positive, but it was weird to me because it's so why did Juul get in trouble and have to, they literally got told that they had to pull all their television advertisements and everything, yet this other company is able to advertise a similar product with it all comes down to being a flavored vape.
Yeah, and they're saying that they'll pull these flavors, they will be off the market, and then companies would be able to apply for an FDA approved one and be able to start essentially reselling flavored juices that are FDA approved. I look at it as, we've had Juul for a long time. It seems like now we talk to Juul a lot. We, know them well. They've always claimed this whole time that they were an FDA-approved formula for an actual vape juice. So I wonder if their stance would be, pull it off now, go back now, it's going to get banned, and then they would be one of the first that could re-enter the market as FDA-approved as far as their flavors, and then take over more of the market share. It's still, whether it's not a cigarette and it's not any of these major companies, it's still big tobacco. They're still making that tobacco money. So I wonder if that's their stance of, well, let's pull it off now. They'll forget about us. All our competitors are going to be gone. Great, let's do it. And then we'll be one that hits back on the market as an FDA-approved formula with FDA-approved, compounds that make our juice. And then they're going to dominate the share, which they already do.
That is a good point, because I do recall them all saying that they were FDA approved, and they were mad at some of the alternative pods because they weren't FDA approved, and they were just paying some huge fine every month, but I guess it doesn't compare to what they're raking in for money.
Exactly, that's what they've always told us. Well, FDA is cool with what we have, but look at blank, blank, and blank. They don't do that. They just take the penalty. They keep selling because they know they can put whatever on the market. So I think that they'll ban flavored vaping, and then I think Juul will be one of the first that immediately hits back on the market and will be the only option for vaping. And then all of a sudden we'll see Mango come back into stores. Watch.
Right. So they're saying that there's been 530 confirmed and probable cases of lung injury related to e-cigarettes as of September 17th, and that's from the CDC. And there have been 9 known deaths related to vaping. 2 in California, 2 in Kansas, 1 in Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri, and Oregon. And then on Tuesday, the Massachusetts governor, Charlie Baker, called for a temporary 4-month ban on the sale of all e-cigarettes and vaping products. So we're seeing more of these states taking it upon themselves to institute a ban until a federal ban is in place.
I also see a lot of articles of states that want to go after vape juice as well as menthol cigarettes for being a flavored cigarette, which, I mean, not to get into any like politics, I think that that's a very specific market they're trying to take menthol cigarettes away from, but it doesn't, I mean, like, why? My thing is, why now? Yeah, you say it's 9 deaths. I think this morning they were saying it's closer to 15, but like, what do you hope to achieve? Because it's not going to stop anything. I mean, you're just going to see an epidemic of people buying things, stockpiling things, and then you look at like...
And then people buying bulk flavoring and stuff like that and mixing up their own products, which is basically the issue that already exists. That's the black market THC cartridges is the problem, and you guys are basically turning the e-juice market into a black market.
Yeah, and I mean, like, vape juice, it does expire. It has a shelf life. Like, I look at it, if you can get fucking fake fentanyl in the mail from China, then you really think that you're not going to be able to get some mango juice shipped from China, some blue raspberry, or any of these other countries. Just because you stop it here, I mean, there's how many other countries in the world that still vape as well? You're still going to be able to order it.
Right, you'll get it from somewhere.
Customs won't stop that. They're not going to know. They're going to think, oh, this kid's getting skincare, but in all reality, it's going to be blue raz vape juice for an e-cig that he still has. It's just not.
Right. Like, La Vidal Sassoon is mango.
Right. Like, I get if you want to have regulations, that's cool. Things are always going to be regulated. That's the world we live in. Money obviously is the dominating factor in everything. Regulate it, great. That's perfect. But taking it away, it's not going to do anything. I mean, there's just no way. They regulate alcohol. How many kids die in drunk driving accidents a year? It doesn't change things. It might help a little bit, but it's not going to change the overall picture. It's not going to do anything.
Well, again, in the overall picture is not what they're seeing as the overall picture. So they're still saying that there's some cases where people haven't said that they were vaping THC cartridges, but in my opinion, that's people being scared to admit to the doctor or the government, whoever's asking them, that they were using an illegal product in a state that doesn't have a medical marijuana law.
Right. Take the felony. Take the charge. It ain't that deep.
Well, they're not even going to give you a charge. Like, you've already done it. I don't think they can just say, oh, THC is in your system, so we can arrest you now.
Yeah. They always taught us that when I was in high school. I mean, in high school we had tons of kids die from drugs and alcohol poisoning. They always said, they're not going to give you a ticket for it. They want to know the underlying cause. They want to know what happened and how we can treat it and prevent it. But they're never going to be like, well, you said that you got really drunk at a party. We're going to write you a ticket for an MIP even though you almost died. They'd rather you not die on somebody's kitchen floor than just figure out what the problem is and work to treat the problem, and then you'll live. You'll be fine.
Right. Don't lie to your doctor. It's not worth it.
No. Isn't there? That's doctor-patient confidentiality. They can't tell on you anyway. Lie to the cops. Okay, cool. We all do. But don't lie to your doctor.
We don't condone lying to the cops. All right. That's all we got this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.